E-commerce experienced an unprecedented boom during a year of lockdowns and quarantines. Now, according to media and research organization Digital Commerce 360, consumers spent roughly $860 billion online in 2020, marking a 44% jump year over year and the highest growth at least for 2 decades. More customers than ever turn to online retail when buying everything from groceries to holiday gifts. While the online shopping surge presents an opportunity for e-commerce businesses to capitalize, it's just as critical to stand out in an increasingly busy landscape. One of the key ways for retailers to accomplish this is to optimize their e-commerce strategies and maximize engagement from first click to purchase. So today in this episode of Behind the Brains podcast, I'll be talking about a few e-commerce strategies that have worked well for me and my clients and for other retail brands. It would be helpful if you can stick with me till the end because these customer acquisition strategies will blow your mind and help you grow your e-commerce brand and increase your customer base. But before getting started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join Behind the Brains podcast Reddit community, which is linked in the description below. And without wasting any more time, let's dive into this real quick. So, firstly, brand has to inspire confidence. In order to get customers interested at the baseline, an e-commerce brand must inspire confidence. A retailer is more likely to get clicks if the brand appears not only legitimate but polished, cohesive, secure, and lauded with other customers. And it's said by Kunle Campbell, an e-commerce advisor and host of the podcast 2x e-commerce. The packaging, your product photography, and descriptions, which is the presentation of your e-commerce website, must be high quality and coherent, and it must sell the why of your business. So, according to Campbell, the brand must keep up these appearances throughout the shipping and communication process. If there has been an error in the shipment process, tell the customers that you're working hard on fixing the problems. It's basically being honest and adding a touch of security and inspiration. This usually occurs in high ticket or expensive products and services where the brand connects the customers to an emotional level. Sense of security, inspiration, cohesiveness, and honesty helps customers to connect with brands on a deeper level, which helps increasing their reach and their sales collectively. And not only the sales, but the word of mouth promotion and recommendations by the customers also increase. Positive reviews will boost users' confidence significantly. And according to a 2020 study conducted by consumer review site Trustpilot, 89% of global consumers check reviews when buying products online, and 49% rank positive reviews as one of their top 3 online purchasing influencers. Inspiring confidence will help you to increase your customer base significantly. Number 2, establish your audience. In order to acquire quality traffic, an e-commerce brand must first establish a realistic target audience. For example, if a brand is selling luxury shaving razors, it may want to target affluent men who have noted interest in grooming. According to Campbell, the target should be as accurate as possible. He says that the way our market works, you need a focus. A presentation has to be focused on particular demos. If it works, then you can expand that audience. But in the beginning, you're not Coca-Cola. You cannot advertise it to everyone and expect a high conversion. Establishing an audience is a tough job because there have been many times when brands have used the best methods possible but ended up targeting the wrong audience. Knowing your audience is crucial, especially when you want to grow your business exponentially. I have a dedicated episode on this topic, how to understand and target your audience. It covers everything you need to know about types of audience, how to identify and understand them, and how to use specific ads to target them effectively. It also covers various generations and what are they influenced by. I'll link the episode below. Make sure you check it out or save it to your watch list or your download list. But for now, let's move on to the third point quickly. Advertising strategically. Once a brand has defined its customer base, it should then spread the word via paid targeted advertising on social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. However, while it is a relatively low investment to buy these ads, if compared to other marketing tactics, the median conversion rate on Facebook is 0.9%, and on every other social media platforms except Facebook, it's 0.7% roughly, which is on the lower end, according to e-commerce strategy and development firm GrowCode. On the search front, Google serves ads through its Google Ads platform that targets customers who are already searching for the related products. So if a user searches for the term luxury men's razors, a paid advertising for your brand could crop up. These ads have an average conversion rate of 4.4% on the Google search network, which is according by a search marketing company, WordStream. And on the meanwhile, traffic on Google owned YouTube has increased significantly in certain search categories during 2020, which includes home office, tutorials, workouts, finance, and food. According to Campbell, organic reach, which denotes the numbers of people who have seen your post or content on a social media platform without any influence of ads, is somewhere around 2.1% median conversion rate, and it can be maximized by engaging influencers who already have following within a targeted audience. The highest conversion rates, however, stem from email marketing, which is somewhere around 5.3%, and referrals, which is around 5.4%. So it is crucial to focus on building a community and grabbing email contacts in addition to advertising, which is why everyone focuses on email marketing. The fourth one is the most important one because all the other efforts rely on this single one. Let your product show the way. Different products lend themselves to different e-commerce strategies. If you are selling makeup, for instance, consider throwing advertising dollars to YouTube due to its popular makeup tutorials or Instagram because of its visual focus. Your product will also determine which influencers you choose. An automobile influencer shouldn't be your first choice if you are selling health food, for example, even if they are very popular. On the other hand, an exclusive art gallery would want to rely heavily on organic reach, personal networking, and referrals to maintain its air of exclusivity. Your product offering may also determine what selling platforms you use. If you are an artisan who makes quilts, you could reach your target demographics more easily by selling on a site like Etsy rather than selling it on a massive general e-commerce platform like Amazon, which is better for widely searched products. Your mode and medium of promotion will totally depend on your niche, your product type, and most importantly, where your customers are. If majority of your customers are on Pinterest, only a stupid will ignore Pinterest and focus on other social media platforms. I often think it in this way. First follow where your customer is and then try to switch their focus. So for instance, if I'm a beauty parlor owner, I'll use Pinterest and TikTok for most to promote my business. But when I reach a level, I'll start promoting it on other social media platforms as well so that the niche can be divided broadly. This will expand the reach and possibility of getting more customers and more clients. These are the major ones that every e-commerce brands must consider before acquiring any customer. And the ones that I'm going to talk about after this will be the follow-up points, and it will be implementable only if you implement the first 4 points. So don't skip things and directly go on to anything. So it's critical to stay on top of shifting trends in order to be a player in e-commerce. But in addition to reading the news and scanning statistics, it's also important to demonstrate that you are a part of the conversation. E-commerce expert Campbell offers some tips on how to do so. Number one, reach out to your audience. In your promotions and communications, show that you are in touch and meeting customers where they are, which in many cases is online. For example, many retailers created original, non promotional, direct email messaging during the pandemic to continue engagement and express companionship with their customers. You have to do the same thing. Reach out to your audience and connect with them on a personal and emotional level. This will make your customers feel a sense of belonging and build that confidence, which we talked about earlier. Number two, be more active in events. To create more brand awareness, consider attending more conferences, either virtually or in person, such as the Global E-commerce Leaders Forum or the Big Show by the National Retail Federation. Join panel discussions, blog about e-commerce trends, or sign up for online courses to hone your craft. In addition, get active on Shopify forums or join communities like e-commerce fuel or subreddits on e-commerce and your business niche. This single most thing will help you to stay up to date, gain some extra knowledge, meet like-minded people, and network with other retailers and business owners. And this brings me to my final point. Engage your network. Keep those in your personal network engaged, not only to sell them products but to check in or invite them to virtual networking events. Read their books and articles and send congratulation messages. Networking doesn't always mean striking a deal or pushing an agenda. It's an ongoing investment that you must tend to over time. I've been emphasizing this point since my first episode. You have to leverage your audience and your networks. There's an art of leveraging your network and using them as a long term investment in your business. Networking is a long term game and it needs a lot of practice and professionalism. As soon as you have built that personality for networking, you'll be good to go with it. So basically, this is it. How with simple and unique things you can implement this strategy and acquire your next or your new customers. Everything I have explained in this episode is quite implementable except the targeted audience part because you will need a lot of time and understanding for that. And like I've said, you'll have to listen to my previous episode to understand that in very detail. I have made a YouTube video on the same topic too. If you think it's more preferable, then you can watch it on YouTube too, or listening to the podcast is the only other option. I've linked the video and the podcast episode below. You can refer to it. If you like my work, you can support me on Buy Me a Coffee. It's basically a place where you donate some money to support the creator and the channel. It helps me to stay motivated and use that to improve my content and keep this channel alive. You can join my Reddit community for more updates related to Behind the Brains podcast. Don't forget to follow Behind the Brains official on Instagram and Podcast Behind TB on Twitter. And lastly, if you like this episode, share it with your friends and family members, your relatives, or your colleagues. Just share the knowledge so that it can help someone. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you never miss any new content. Behind the Brains podcast is on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, and YouTube. And also don't forget to leave a review on Apple Podcast. So that's it for today. I hope you liked this podcast episode. I'll be back with another episode next week. Till then, keep listening, keep hustling from Behind the Brains podcast. I'll see you later.